BBC News.
The US President-elect Joe Biden has promised that during his first 100 days in office, 100 million Americans will be vaccinated against coronavirus. The country's had more than 15 million cases, and in the capital, Washington, D.C., evidence shows your chances of survival depend hugely on the colour of your skin and where you live. Libo De Seco reports.
Early morning in one of the capital's poorest neighbourhoods. Just getting to a doctor can be a challenge for many here. And so a new approach to try and limit the spread of the pandemic.
We're reaching a population that is often underserved and under-resourced, and so we're trying to, make a connection with them. And primarily we're doing COVID testing and we're doing kind of like a well check. But if people need resources or connections back to the healthcare system, to the hospital, to their doctor, whatever, we're trying to help them with that as well.
A service that's proved popular with locals.
It's awesome because I don't have to go nowhere. I just walk right up the street from my house and get tested and I'm done.
This is just half an hour's drive from the White House, but it is a world apart.
It's predominantly black areas like this one that are bearing the brunt of the pandemic here in Washington, D.C. Authorities say it's because of long-standing systemic health and social inequalities. And it means that many people in places like this have an increased risk of getting sick and of dying of COVID-19.
In fact, research shows you're more than 6 times more likely to lose your life to coronavirus if you're black than if you're white in Washington, D.C., the worst racial disparity in the whole country. Add to that, just one public hospital to serve the whole city.
It was devastating watching this community be destroyed by the virus, seeing a lot of families, entire families wiped out. 1 week the mother, the next week the father, the next week the son. A great deal of the residents here have hypertension and diabetes, and so, I'm afraid of the outcome for this community once the cases continue to spike.
The pandemic has also worsened another crisis, hunger. This food bank has had to change how it does things, delivering food to homes across the city in order to limit the numbers coming in.
Typically, we would serve about 400 households a day, but we've seen many days during this pandemic when we've served over 1,000 households. And so there was a big spike in terms of food insecurity.
And it is the people who already had the least who face the most precarious future in this city, which is the seat of power in one of the richest countries in the world. Libo De Seco, BBC News, Washington.